I am still very bullish when it comes to Verasity and its ecosystem token called VRA reaching the price of 50 cents during this bull run, hypothetically speaking. That's still my price target. I'm not changing that despite the price pullback, despite the price action. I'm being a little bit caca as of right now. I think better days are ahead because keep in mind, Verasity, it's focused on two markets that, granted, one of them, aka the payments market, some people may feel a bit oversaturated. But on the flip side, Verasity is also focused on the world of digital advertising. And this right here, I think, is a narrative that hasn't been massive yet, but I think it could be so massive moving forward because as of right now, people love meme coins, they love AI projects, they love NFT projects, blockchain gaming. There's a lot of markets that people are focused on, but this right here is often overlooked. But I think it's only about time that this could very well be the next big one because after all, Verasity aims to bring trust and transparency to the world of digital advertising and payments. And I think this right here, again, could be so massive because not only is the payments market valued at over $2 trillion as we speak, but I think that when it comes to the world of digital advertising, there's a lot of hypothetical potential here. Now, before I address that, though, some people may think that, okay, being focused on the payments market is a little bit of a caca idea because there's too many good competitors. But I disagree because keep in mind, in the world of cars, for instance, I'm just using this as an example, there isn't only like 5 car brands, right? There's a bunch. Take a look at Tesla, Volvo, whatever the case may be. But even though something like Volvo, which doesn't have 90% market share, by the way, that still is able to thrive, become successful, and hire tens upon thousands of employees. Why is that? It's because the market that they're focused on is so massive to the point that it really doesn't matter if they're one of the many players, so to speak, because there's room for a lot of the good ones to eat. So again, being focused on the payments market really isn't a bad idea. However, the real McCoy here, I think, is digital advertising because, for instance, when it comes to the Verasity ecosystem, there is, of course, something called VeraViews. Now, this is where things get a little bit more cooking because VeraViews has been stated to be an open ledger advertising ecosystem built around Veracity's patented proof-of-view fraud identification technology. And yes, you heard that right. First of all, I said patented. So that right there is amazing. And again, some people may think, oh yeah, proof-of-view fraud identification technology. This is complete jargon. But you know what? This is very special because take a look at, for instance, even Verasity themselves claim that VeraViews is the most powerful, transparent, and auditable advertising ecosystem for preventing ad fraud based on open ledger principles. And keep in mind, ad fraud, some people may not really consider it a big deal, but this right here is actually a very big problem as of right now. And I think it can even be a bigger problem in the future. And there's even data that supports this thesis, I would say, right? Hypothetically, or hypothesis, I would say. You take a look at, for instance, according to an article by Forbes, they showcase how a study done by Juniper Research, it indicates that it is estimated that by 2028, so not even that far away at this point, we're so close to 2025, over $170 billion will be wasted due to ad fraud. I mean, could you imagine that? That's insane right there. That's bigger than some countries' GDP. So clearly, what needs to come in and save the day? Maybe something like Verasity, because it is focused on that. And again, even though adoption for Verasity isn't the best, some people may argue that, and I agree, adoption isn't the best, but especially for this bull run, it won't really matter in my opinion. Now, why is that? It's because people, they primarily care about anticipated adoption as opposed to adoption in its current form. Now, let me explain what I mean by this. Take a look at, for instance, Solana. Solana has done very well, and it's going to continue to do well, in my opinion, hypothetically. But if you actually take a look at it, Solana doesn't have good adoption. Let's face it. If I ask an average individual, let's say, hey, what is Solana known for? If they actually know Solana and they know a little bit about the ecosystem, they're going to say 9 times out of 10, oh yeah, Solana meme coins. They're going to say this. They're not going to say, oh yeah, take a look at Jupiter. They're not really going to say that in most cases, again, at least from what I've seen. So if you take a look at it, again, does Solana have good adoption? It's primarily known for meme coins. No, that's not good adoption. That doesn't mean that, oh yeah, Solana has mass scale adoption. At least that's the way I view it based off of that. So when I take a look at that, again, during a fully fledged bull run, people usually care about the narrative. And the narrative about being focused on digital advertising more specifically, it hasn't really popped off yet. So I think it's only fair to assume that this could very well hypothetically be the next big narrative that people latch onto, maybe. So that's why, again, I think brighter days are ahead when it comes to Verasity. Not to mention, if you actually take a look at it, when it comes to VeraViews, it's fantastic because it currently has a setup time of only around 5 minutes, which is insane. and its accuracy rate is over 97%, and it's easy to implement and very reliable. Again, all of this is allegedly, but if you actually take a look at those statistics, those figures, those claims, I think that if anything indicates that VeraViews is not only, again, very efficient, very accurate, but also at the same time, just very easy to implement. So I think this right here could be massive. Again, adoption for it isn't the best, but I think, let's say, as time goes on, it could be great. But even despite that, during this bull run, it won't really matter because people usually care about anticipated adoption as opposed to current adoption, again, in my opinion. Now, we also take a look at when it comes to VRA, at least the VRA token, it can be used within the VeraViews advertising stack for funding ad campaigns. So yeah, that's great and all. Not to mention, VRA could be used with something called the Vera wallet. Now, this right here is, I don't think, the most popular wallet out there. Of course, it's not. Some people would say, oh, it's not the best, but it doesn't really matter in my opinion, because you take a look at, for instance, right, when it comes to the Vera wallet, rewards can be earned by staking VRA, again, on the Vera wallet, and rewards can reach up to 15% per year. So that's insane. Not to mention, there's currently over 300,000 Vera wallet users. So that's, a very big number. Not to mention, over 600,000 community members and over 20 language communities. And also, Verasity has even been awarded 6 patents so far. That's actually a very big figure. That's bigger than, or should I say more than, some inventors. If you know, you know, because of course they file for patents in some cases. So this right here is just very amazing. Now, Verasity, the insane thing about it, in a good way, of course, is the fact that the market cap for VRA is incredibly low. I mean, it's kind of insane to see a project this amazing, yet that low of a market cap, to the point that reaching, the price of 50 cents, that right there is over a 100x from here. Now, I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I'm just saying, going to the price of 50 cents, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $5 billion. Not too bad. This isn't even 10% of Dogecoin's all-time high market cap, which is crazy to think about. Dogecoin even at one point reached over 80 billion. And keep in mind, as the old saying goes, a high tide raises all ships. Even according to Charles Hoskinson, who not only is the co-founder of Ethereum, but the founder of Cardano, based off a video that he was a part of on November, he does predict that in the next 1 to 2 years from then, he could very well see Bitcoin reaching anywhere between $250,000, so 250,000, all the way up to $500,000, aka $500,000. That's insane. If, let's say, Bitcoin were to just go to 250,000, which is his allegedly worst case price prediction for Bitcoin during this bull run, let's say, even at that point, 50 cents for VRA, it might seem a little bit bearish. That's just my opinion. Now, it's just a waiting game, which is why I'm willing to stay patient. But still, even despite that, when I take a look at Verasity, it's so amazing because, again, the room for growth is still there, but it doesn't really feel like super risky because the community is very strong and exposure is very amazing. So I think this right here is a hidden gem, at least personally for me. That's the way I take a look at it. It has a market cap that is way lower than some popular meme coins, and also even just regular run-of-the-mill meme coins that aren't even really that popular, which is kind of crazy to think about. But at the same time, it's not a meme coin, and the fundamentals are amazing, so I think this right here is fantastic. And take this into consideration. Historically speaking, as a worst-case scenario, altcoins, they've been known to peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. Now, the last Bitcoin halving event happened back in April, so 18 months from then would actually be around October of 2025. So I still think there's a ways to go here when it comes to VRA and also altcoins in general. I think as Bitcoin goes to the price of 150,000, 200,000, and let's say maybe even beyond to what Charles Hoskinson predicts, maybe beyond 250,000, who knows? Man, I think the altcoin season could be so special, but it's just a waiting game. And again, VRA at the price of 50 cents really wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. Yes, I get it. The price action has been a little bit caca, but I think better days are ahead. And man, I really can't wait, which is why I'm staying patient. And again, VRA at the price of 50 cents during this bull run wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I'm still bullish. I'm still acquiring. I'm still dollar cost averaging anytime or income, acquire, hold, and I just wait because I think better days are ahead. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's Bullish the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.